5,
4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hi everyone, welcome to my presentation, Virtual New Media Exhibition as Hands-on Approach for Arts Learning. And this is a project I have done back 2 years ago actually. And now I have just had a chance to present this project. I can see my slide now. Just excuse me for a second. Okay, now it's back. Sorry about that. So when I was teaching at Penn State, this is the content of this project is in a technology course for arts education major. And the goal of this project is to teach students the aesthetic of new media. And so I said new media, I mean, those technologies, the internet, everything that artists has been using to create artwork. And internet is part of net art. We call it net art, is part of it. And I consider virtual world as part of the internet infrastructure. So I think teaching virtual world to create new media art or net art is helpful for students to learn the aesthetic of new media. And virtual world is a simulated environment, and it provides opportunity for creating interactive new media installation. As we can see now in this Second Life environment, almost everything is interactive, and it's simulate a real world kind of space and feeling. So I create 2 stages in this project to help students learn how to create new media art and how to learn about the interactive aesthetic of new media. So to teach this, I first talk about net art and new media art. As you can see in the slide, there are some definition and talk about net art and new media art. So I'm not gonna read it. So here are some of the characteristics of new media, and it includes it's digital, it's interactive, and it's linked, hypertexture, and it's virtual, it's networked, and it's simulated. And I can see all these characteristics in environments, in virtual world environments like Second Life. And there has been a lot of new media work in Second Life. So I introduced some of the project, including net art and art in Second Life, to my students, along with some of the new discussion of new media at the time. I think I missed with my slide again. Okay. So this project started with students researching net art. So they want to learn some of the new the internet art on the internet to know how the first step is not just throw them into virtual world of Second Life, but to learn to use some of the other, to see some of the other media that artists has been using to create artwork. And so they research existing net arts. And then I asked them to bring those net arts. They can select their own net arts they are interested to present to others. And I want them to create an exhibition in Second Life to display their selected net art. So it's used the Second Life function of streaming the website onto an object. And that is the first step. And it's easy for students to do this because they start with knowing nothing about virtual world of Second Life, and then they start creating first object, which is a flat panel. It's easier for them. And so each of them create a flat panel and uploaded their selected net artwork. I will show a few more pictures later. And so after they create this net art exhibition, they learn some basic building function in Second Life. And then they also learned a little bit about how to create interactive feature with these objects. I asked each of them to provide some descriptions why they choose this net artwork, and just basic information of the artwork they select. So they have to create sort of like a label for each of their net artwork, and they have to make it interactive to add note card, and the object will give visitors the note card with information. So that is a very basic interactive feature for the building in Second Life. And then after that, then I will go on to the next step. Next stage is ask them to use this building feature in Second Life to create their own new media installation art in Second Life and create this new media art exhibition. And so here are some of the net art work I'm going to show you that's in the net art exhibition. And this slide shows a website called Rhizome, and it has a lot of information about the different net art. So students, lots of them basically research on that site and find net artwork they want to display in the exhibition. So this is another one of the net artwork that's popular students select. So this is the net art exhibition. So in the middle, if you can see the avatar standing there in my slide, that's my instructor avatar, which is an old lady look like avatar. And you can see on the slides there's this is actually a Google Doc. I stream it into also in Second Life, and students added this Google Doc to add their definition of a net art. So they, after research net art, they each write a description of what net art is, what they think has certain kind of feature. So they learn this aesthetic of interactive artwork using the internet as a medium to create art. And you can see on the background there are some objects there. Those are the net art they bring up in that exhibition. And some of them are more creative, although it's their first time learning how to build. They not just create a big flat panel, but they sort of make it interesting as some different object to display their work. So, and this is not that easy to do in a real life exhibition. So this is one of the benefits that students have to create these exhibitions. They can use their creativity to display the art in creative way. And you can see from a different view that different ways of displaying those websites, net art website. And some are big flat panel hanging on the walls. And the gallery is actually floating in the sky. And this is the view. You can see that gallery. Students create their exhibition. And so after that exhibition, they learned all these skills and function, how to create interactive artwork using Second Life built-in features. Their next task is to create a new media installation artwork. And my topic I give to them is they each has to create an artwork addressing some kind of house metaphor. So they sort of build a house to address the topic and issue they want to talk about. And I introduce some of the contemporary artists who also work with this idea of house or used house as a metaphor to discuss different issues and topics. And so these are the examples of the artists I introduced to students. Sorry, I couldn't keep up with clicking so many things, so the test chart is coming up a little bit slow. So this is their new media art they create, and they put it into an exhibition to display their house metaphor artwork. And make it go back again. Okay, so this image is one of my students' work. So she created this house and with technology and inside, and there's this big poster question all these technologies surrounding our daily life. So she's kind of using interesting way, and she photoshopped and created that image to express her idea of this house metaphor and how she created that as a house to express her idea. This is another one, and she also created her own Photoshop image, and also she used the same skill she used from creating the net art exhibition. She imported a website and to make it interactive, so viewer can actually interact with the website she imported and make their own, create their own artwork on that website in that house. So her house is sort of like a studio, which people can come in and use that streaming of the website to create art. And this is another student's house. She also used the same skill and import some different websites to display her ideas. So that's the sort of the basic skill that students use a lot because they learned in the previous task. And these students created its sort of geometric shape kind of house, and with go too fast again. Can I go back? Okay. So with her house, and it's sort of like it's an irregular shape kind of house. And her idea was, this is sort of like the world she's living in. It's so many different things. It's so, she's kind of overwhelmed with so many different things. So in the house, you kind of disillusioned with this different shape and objects and kind of providing interesting experience when you go into that house. And another house student created is her memory piece. So she used a lot of her her personal photos, and so you can see as she used those photo and pictures, what the pictures she liked in her family photos in the object in the room she built. And interestingly, this is her house actually has 2 rooms. So this is like inside room. It's her own world in her mind. But the outside, excuse me, I'm not sure. My slide's not working so good. Let's see if I can show outside of her house. So this one, I finally found it. This one is the outside part of her house. So it's a formal living space where it's like a kitchen. She entertained with her friend, and she lives in an apartment with her roommates, and it's a shared space, and it's public, and it's totally different from her inner space. So she used this different room and to create to express her life in two different ways. And I guess I missed my slide. I apologize with that, so I have to go back. So this next house is a student created this interactive sort of it's a gathering together space, but it's interactive because the house, it's begin with if you walk in, it's just a few chairs. These students found a few chairs and then just put it there, but he made some interactive feature when you click on there's the centerpiece in that living space, and that is what you can see is there's a lot of colorful ball will drop down to interact with the viewer, and it sort of expressed his idea of this something you want to touch, but you are told you cannot touch. So what happened would you do something that you are not told you are told you cannot do? And so his idea was he used this interactive piece because he told a viewer you cannot touch that, but people would like to touch it, and there's some sequence happening. And so on the background he has this, next time you might not be so lucky. That's his idea of what happened if you touch the things you are not supposed to, or you are doing something you're not supposed to do. And this is another house, outside of the technology house I showed at the beginning. This is where you walk into the house with the display of old technology and new technology on the outside. This is another view. I'm sorry, this is really mixed up with the slide sequence. This is another view of that geometric different shapes of living space house, and it's up on the air. And this is the view, the outside view of the house, with it's like a working studio, and students can create their artwork in that space. So after they created their own houses in these and create their exhibition, I invited a group of students from another university to come visit the exhibition and provide peer critique. And so students, this is an image of a student participating in peer critique and playing and viewing each other's house in that opening ceremony, and also peer critiquing process. And the students from another university used the voice chat and to ask questions about their project. So it was a good experience for the students because they didn't know that their audience to come and see their work, and they can actually interact with people over on the internet, which this is another benefit and future of the art on the internet, the new media work. And so here are some of the benefits of this project that I found. It's allows students to collaboratively curate an exhibition online, because if I asked them to create a website to display the net artwork they researched and found, they might not be able to um, um, do it together. They have to. It's difficult to do it together with so many students. But in these virtual environments, they can not only build an exhibition that's it's look like an immersive exhibition in that environment, but so many students can do it together in these environments. So they feel like they really go to a gallery space and hang up all those artworks together. And another benefit I found is these experiences give them some immersive and interactive experience. As I said, they can interact with peers from other places, and they can interact with their other students in the same space. And they use Second Life as a tool to create new media. And Second Life or other virtual world has these interactive features that is really sort of most important, one of the most important characteristics of new media. So they were able to learn that arts is not just a pretty picture, but new media arts is interactive. You have to be able to interact with the arts to learn more about the arts, to be interact and immerse in that kind of art experience. And the last one, and I already talked about that, is they have other peers from different universities come join and provide their critique and provide their feedback. I have not found any other tools that can do similar things as virtual world, like Second Life or OpenSim can do. I think the most difficult challenge for my students is learn how to use Second Life as a tool to create work, since they are not very familiar with Second Life and there are like lots of limitations. They want to do that, but they cannot do that. Or myself is not a master of scripting, so there are certain things that it's not that easy to accomplish. So lots of students are actually frustrated with the building process, but they are all very happy that they had this experience put up and they were able to interact with other people. And another challenge I found is this accessibility issue. Although I was able to invite another group of students from another university to come visit, there's not a lot of other people, other visitors. So it's not like it's on a website and people can just Google and search it and go to there. So it's not that easy for general public to be able to see their work. So that's another issue that they wish they could. It could be there's more accessibility for more people. So as I said, I have not found other technology that can do these kind of things. Maybe I was out of loop, but I think although there's this kind of challenge of technology and student learning how to build and those issues that Second Life still have, I think this is still one of the best tools and available now to do these kind of things. So the exhibition has ended. As I said, this was an exhibition about 2 years ago, but there are still some pieces remain. Some have been tailed down, maybe half of it. If you are interested, I provide a link, a landmark, a location in the chat. So you can save that and go visit later. So now, thank you. I apologize, this is not very smooth because I have to multitasking with so many different things. And let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for coming. I personally would love to do more of this kind of project, creating virtual new media exhibition. Um, but I see there's still this big obstacle of the technology, and I wish I can find something better. But as I said, for now, I think this is still one of the best tool to use. Is anyone here also are doing similar kind of things, teaching about arts or creating art exhibition art in virtual world? Well, let me know if you are interested. If you have other questions, you are welcome to email me, and I'm going to type in my email here. So if you are interested and if you have questions, you are welcome to email me. And thank you for coming.